Hi guys! Today I'm going to show you how to make an apple crisp. I figured I'd make this recipe after my neighbor gave me tons of apples from their apple tree. They don't look perfect, but they are crisp and juicy. I'm also going to be using some apples from the store, these Regala apples. You can use any type of apple for this recipe or a blend of different apples. I'll be using 7 cups of chopped apples. That works out to about 8 or 9 medium-sized apples. This apple crisp is very satisfying, like an apple pie, but without all the work of making the dough, chilling it, and rolling it out. This crisp is a wonderful fall dessert recipe. You don't need a mixer. It's very simple and easy to make. All the ingredients in this recipe are in the description below. Always taste your apples and use more sugar if your apples are very tart. These apples are sweet and mildly tart, so a 1/4 cup of sugar is enough. I'll also add a little bit of salt, ground cinnamon to mix with the apples, fresh lemon juice, nutmeg. For the topping, I'm using all-purpose flour with ground cinnamon and salt, dark brown sugar, butter of course to make the topping perfect. These few basic ingredients will make a very tasty apple crisp. I've peeled and cut the apples into small pieces. 7 cups of apples measured in a measuring cup, about 8 or 9 medium apples. To the apples, add 2 teaspoons of fresh lemon juice, 1/4 cup of white sugar, a 1/4 teaspoon salt, and a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. When you break the shell open, there's the nutmeg. Sometimes they're sold with the nutmeg already out of the shell. Grated, it has a very strong taste, so you don't want to use too much. A few pinches or 1/8 of a teaspoon if you're measuring. Now add 1 tablespoon of all-purpose flour and give it a mix. The apples will release a lot of juices when baking, and the flour helps thicken the filling. I'm using a square pan about 8 by 8. Use any oven-safe pan that will hold the apples. You can even make this into individual desserts by putting the mixture in small ramekins. Even out the apples. This looks full, but it will cook down. For the topping, I've put all-purpose flour, cinnamon, and salt in a bowl, dark brown sugar, and mix it well. Here's the melted butter. Pour the butter into the flour and mix thoroughly. There should be no specks of flour. Our simple crisp topping is ready. Can you believe how fast that was? All that's left to do is put the topping over the apples evenly. Use your hands and sprinkle the topping so it forms little clumps that crisp up in the oven. Don't pack it down. Leave no apples exposed. This is the perfect amount of topping. I always put a baking tray under the pan in case there is any spilling. Since we didn't add any liquid to the apples, there should be no mess. Bake this at 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 degrees Celsius for 30 to 40 minutes. You know it's ready when the filling is bubbling all around and the topping is golden brown. Not just golden like a blonde color, it should be golden brown so it's crispier just like this. You see the tray is clean, nothing has bubbled over. The hardest part now is waiting for this to cool at least an hour. There's a spare crisp I can try. Really yummy. If you serve this now, it'll be too juicy and watery. You do need to give it time to cool down and thicken a bit, just like a pie. Finally, it's cool and I can dig in. The filling is holding together nicely. The sauce is not watery. The apples are soft but still hold their shape. I like to serve apple crisp with vanilla ice cream or whipped cream. I think I've shown you enough close-ups to make you want to go get some apples and bake this crisp. You can definitely finish the prep work in 20 minutes or less, and then it's just baking time. The one problem with this dessert is that I eat too much of it and have to spend extra time working out the next morning. But it's completely worth it. The apples are tender, coated in cinnamon and sugar, and the topping is buttery crisp. I really do hope you give this simple recipe a try, and let me know what you think in the comments below. Subscribe and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.